Now, story number four. A couple of updates on the Kendrick Lamar front. A couple of updates on the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman got a few updates. This week was the BET Hip Hop Awards. Separate from the BET Awards, which are always in June, there's the BET Hip Hop Awards that are always in October. And Kendrick came up big. Kendrick came up big at the BET Hip Hop Awards. Of course he did. I think it's very obvious that he's having a record-setting year. I mean, think about it. He's released 5 songs this year. I guess 6 if you include like that. 6 songs, 5 songs in a feature. And he's running the whole year. 1 second applause. Now, so let's take a look at the BET Hip Hop Awards. Most of them went to Kendrick Lamar. All right, so best hip hop video, Not Like Us. I don't have a problem with that. I can't think of another video that stood out more than Not Like Us this year. Best collaboration, Future, Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar, like that. I'm not mad at that. I think that's the obvious choice for best collaboration. I think that song's performance on the charts, on the Hot 100s, generally speaking, been in the 20s at least all year. I'm not sure. I think it was a #1 song at one point in time. Definitely top 10 for most of the first half of the year. You think about it from an impact standpoint. Yep. I'm with best collaboration. Best duo or group, Future and Metro Boomin, 100%. 100%. I mean, Future and Metro Boomin have 3 #1s in 6 months. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's ever happened before. Actually, I don't think it's ever happened before. Actually, that hasn't happened before. He has 3 #1s in 6 months. We Don't Trust You, We Still Don't Trust You, and Mixtape Pluto. All right. I'm happy with best duo or group. I think they got that right. I don't know who else had a bigger year as a duo or group. Lyricist of the year, Kendrick Lamar. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that one too. You know, especially with the tracks that he did give us, every single one of them is a different kind of style. So he didn't even go into the same box. It's hard to argue who's had a bigger impact as a lyricist than Kendrick Lamar this year. I'm fine with that. Video Director of the Year, Dave Free. I mean, makes sense. Not Like Us. It's the biggest video of the year. And if you put the Amazon pop-out performance on top of that, yep, I'm pretty fine with that too. Song of the year. Yeah, I would say Not Like Us is the song of the year. I definitely would agree with that too. I don't know what other song would be at the BET Hip Hop Awards that would be a bigger song this year. Can't think of one. That makes sense to me. Hip Hop Album of the Year. Pink Friday 2 by Nicki Minaj. Not mad at it. It was a big album. Her fans were definitely really excited about it. I'm not sure what the timeline is for Hip Hop Album of the Year. I mean, I'm not sure like the dates for the awards. Maybe it starts in November, December last year and goes until August, September of this year. I'm not quite sure what the timeline is. The only other album I think that could have won it is We Don't Trust You, the first Future and Metro Boomin joint. To me, that's probably its biggest competition. I'm not mad at this Pink Friday 2 album. It wasn't for me, but it was a big album, especially if you want to diversify away from things that are Kendrick related. So I get it. I'm not upset at it. I think probably We Don't Trust You is the biggest album of the year, but nevertheless. Hip Hop Artist of the Year, Kendrick Lamar. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me there too. I don't know. You tell me who's had a bigger year as a hip hop artist. I can't think of anyone else. I really can't. This year has been very light on broadly successful rap and hip hop projects, as we cover every week during the chart report. And clearly, Kendrick put out 5 incredibly impactful tracks and a pop-out concert. And it was announced that he's playing at the Super Bowl. Okay. I don't know. That makes sense to me. Best live performer, Missy Elliott. Can't get mad at Missy. I don't know who else would be a better live performer. It's either her or Kendrick, in my opinion, because he did put on the pop-out and he was on tour for Mr. Morale. I think that ended last year. So let's say that ended last year. So if we're doing it on a 12-month cycle, there's a chance. It's a possibility, I guess, that Kendrick could be in that category, but I'm not mad at Missy Elliott. Incredible live performer. Best breakthrough hip hop artist, Sexy Red. I how do I feel about this? I think if you're looking at best breakthrough hip hop artists from a hip hop standpoint, the all-encompassing standpoint, right? I mean, You My Everything was a successful song. She definitely, I think she was nominated. No, she performed at the BET Awards in June. And I think she was a finalist for Best New Artist. That ultimately ended up going to Tyla. I guess this is okay. My reflexes go to Doechii, in my opinion. That's where my reflexes go. But I can understand how Sexy Red would come away with this one. Hustler of the Year, 50 Cent. He's got a whole Tyler Perry situation he's got in Shreveport, Louisiana. He's got the Diddy Did It documentary. He's got multiple TV projects going. I'm not mad at Hustler of the Year. Not mad at that one. Sweet 16, Best Featured Verse. Kendrick Lamar, like that. Metro, yep, that makes sense. That started this whole thing. So that one makes sense to me too. Producer of the Year, Alchemist. He's always having an incredible year on the boards. I'm not mad at Alchemist. Impact Track, Not Like Us. I think this is pretty obvious stuff to me. Pretty obvious stuff. Like, I've seen people be critical of Kendrick taking home all the awards. I don't have a good answer for who in the hip-hop awards. Everything that he's won seems like it makes sense to me because I don't know another track that's had more impact than Not Like Us in hip-hop this year, so I'm with that. Best hip-hop platform, Club Shay Shay. Now, I don't think of Club Shay Shay as a hip-hop platform. I don't think so at all. I don't look at it as a hip-hop platform. Now, unless they're saying hip-hop in terms of black or urban, i.e. predominantly talks to black people on their platform, sure. But best hip-hop platform feels weird. Because I don't really think of I don't think of Shannon Sharp as a hip-hop platform. I don't. But he's had a huge year. I think it's an interesting thumbnail that they have in here, though. I mean, Cat Williams is clearly hip-hop. I assume Jonathan Majors. I don't know much about him, to be honest, outside of the roles he plays. I'm sure that there's some hip-hop influence that he has in his life to some degree. But shout out to Club Shay Shay. 1 second applause for Club Shay Shay. But this one is the first thing that I've seen that really is debatable. DJ of the Year, Alchemist, I'm not mad at that either. So Kendrick Lamar took home 8 BET Awards. And everything that I saw from every award listed here on BET.com that he was awarded makes sense to me. I don't know who's had a bigger year than Kendrick in rap or hip hop. I mean, the closest person to me would be Kanye because he's got a number 1 album and a number 1 song, but that's not going to happen. So I feel like they kind of got that right. As lopsided as it looks, I think this is actually one of those years where he deserved it because he earned it. Now, I mentioned Doechii as breakout artist of the year. To me, her album, Alligator Bites Never Heals, is a top 3 album of the year for me, easily. I think she's creative. She's courageous. I love her. She went boom bap heavy. I like the way she's able to pull a Missy Elliott and a Busta Rhymes, and she can pull a Rhapsody or an Ab-Soul. You know what I mean? Like, she's got tons of range as an artist, and I'm just a huge fan. But so is Kendrick Lamar, because Kendrick Lamar actually posted to his Instagram about Doechii. Here's what he said. Kendrick Lamar shows love to Doechii, calls her the hardest out. The hardest out. That's her cover for the album Alligator Bites Never Heal. She's the hardest. She's the hardest. I mean, big shout out to Dog Pound too, by the way. They have a great album that came out earlier this year. I reacted to their song, Who the Hardest? That Lady of Rage verse is still way up there in my verse of the year. But Doechii is incredible. And so after he posted that, Doechii replied with Thank you, Dot. You the greatest. Thank you, Dot. You're the greatest. You know what I mean? So there's appreciation there. She later added, getting your flowers while you can still smell them is greater, which is true. And she deserves all the praise. Now, shout out to Hip Hop DX on how they framed this story. They pointed out a conversation she had with Joe Budden that I think is worth reading. Doechii just recently spoke about wanting to collaborate with Kendrick Lamar, although she admitted that she doesn't feel quite ready yet. I don't assume anything, and I also don't feel entitled to a Kendrick feature, but I would absolutely love that. That's the goal. I'm sure that, like, for my debut project, eventually I'm going to ask Top Dog if he could ask Kendrick or ask Kendrick myself and see what comes from that. But I'm going to be real. I don't think I have the record right now for that opportunity. I think I would have to come a certain way, and I don't think I'm ready for that. The co-hosts were impressed by her answer, with Budden himself saying, I love that from you. I mean, it does take a lot of awareness to be, to know when you're ready for something and when you're not. I mean, that happens quite a bit. A lot of times, I mean, I've had plenty of moments in my life where I had opportunities that I just wasn't ready for. And then some of those I realized that I wasn't ready for them. And other times, I don't think I realized I wasn't ready for them until after the fact, you know. And so if you don't have the record for someone like Kendrick Lamar, then it's kind of, it can be a wasted feature. You want to maximize all of your opportunities. But I was really, I agree, you know, with Kendrick, especially from a new artist standpoint. I don't think there's very many more that are harder than Doechii right now. So it's dope to see that Kendrick gave him his stamp of approval. Let me know what you guys think of Doechii. Let me know what you guys think of the BET Hip Hop Awards, how that went. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel, follow at The Company Man on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views that's radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, dog, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.